All right, everyone. My name is Pascal Borel, and I'm speaking to you from the Swiss mountains. You have at the back there a 4,000. You see just the very peak of it. Before it, the little pyramid is the Combin de Corbassière. The one behind, of course, is the Grand Combin. And then you have Le Petit Combin with L'Arête du Milieu, which of course I've done already with my great friend Pierre-Antoine. So here we go, and I'm starting this video a bit differently today. And now I'm going to revert on my good self, if I may. I hope you can now see me properly. Let me adjust the camera for you. And just a sec, please. Here we go. Come on, babe. Voila. The camera should be holding and facing me. Today, a video to answer my Anglo-Saxon friends about the WEF, which is by no means the shame of Switzerland. That was the title of the previous video. And I've received hundreds and hundreds of comments. Thank you very much to the Anglo-Saxon community. It shows that people are worried to some extent. They are worried because they understand that they've been fooled. And receiving hundreds of comments about that video just shows that people not only are waking up, but they are probably uh, willing to strike into action. Because let's face it, you're not the product of the events around you. You are the product of what you do with the events. You can steal everything from a man, but one thing, and that is to choose in any given set of circumstances your attitude, your own inimitable way. And that is what I expect from the larger number after having been fooled, not only by our governance system, by the democracies, but by all the people which are part of Davos. And, you know, quite often I still hear people which are in admiration to some extent before the Swiss and what we do and the direct democracy we represent. And let's face it, Switzerland is Davos. Switzerland is the World Economic Forum, is the WEF. Switzerland is the International Geneva, as they like to call it. And International Geneva is about OGs or GOs, like you would put it in English. GOs are what you still call NGOs, non-governmental organization. But may I remind you that when you receive like 90% of your funding straight from government, whether directly or indirectly, through, for example, US aid, like it used to be, you are by no means an NGO. You are a GO, a governmental organization. And as such, whatever you do, wherever you spend the money, should be disclosed to the public, because even if it's indirectly, when you are a GO, a governmental organization, you owe full transparency to the citizens. You owe the citizens, the people, a principle, an oversight principle. And this oversight should give you full transparency on how your taxpayer money is being spent. Switzerland is today the most obscene cash machine in which even the law is payable. I'm just going through a case at the moment where, as I have refused to pay the judge directly, I'm not entitled to have the law being applied to my case. So there are articles of law which defend my situation completely. But as I haven't paid the judge directly, me, Pascal Borel, paid the judge, the law will not be applied, and I, I'm losing the case. So don't worry, I'm going to display that with all the documents, the associated contracts, the emails, blah, 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 that went through. I'm not doing it right now. I'm staying on the WEF. Just to let you know, Switzerland is an obscene cash machine. It is all that counts. It washes whiter than white. And if you still believe that it's an example of direct democracy, man, you are going to fall from a great height. That is clear. It is by no means an example anymore, nor for the legal framework, nor for the constitution, and it actually welcomes the worst organization of all, which is the WEF, the World Economic Forum, which is a bit like the Spectra in James Bond. It's an association of people which abuse of the strategic position in which they are. And they do it probably, 90% of the people worldwide would actually take advantage of it if they had the opportunity. And we've seen, now in the US and elsewhere, some great people, scientists that have published in Science, Nature, Scientific American, and that went for bribe, that went for, as soon as they were proposed a few dozens of millions of dollars, they fell for it. They went for it, destroying completely everything they had done in this life. It's mind boggling. But people fall for those things. When Anthony Fauci, not to mention him, received something like $189 million for his foundation, the museum, the Fauci, of course he's going to fall for it, man. And that is not because he's a bad man. He's just a weak person that hasn't set goals. Anyway, in life, you always have two choices: one step back into security or one step forward into growth. In fact, you could put it another way. You can make, you know, you can be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution. And if they pay you to be part of the problem, well, there are strong chances you'll fall for it. It depends on the number. And but if it is anything above a few dozens of millions of dollars, well, of course you're going to fall for it. So anyway, so Switzerland is by no means still an example of direct democracy. It is a shame, and the people of Switzerland have nothing to do with it. They've been stolen from their neutrality. They've been stolen from the state of law that we used to be. Nowadays, you pay the justice, you will have access to it. You pay the judge. Can you imagine the level of corruption? If the judge doesn't receive your money straight when he's already paid by your taxes, he's already having a salary and everything. But if you don't pay him on top of what you already do through your taxes, you will not have access to justice. It's a level of corruption which is being institutionalized throughout the system. This is mind boggling. And you think, why do you think the WEF is being welcomed in Switzerland? Because we have a very strong military tradition. We buy the best planes, FA-18, now F-35s from the US. We have probably some of the best, one of the very best rifle, M16 like, throughout the army. And we have the best mortars, the best flamethrowers. We have a great intelligence. I mean, the military tradition in Switzerland dates like half a millennium before the French Revolution. No, can you imagine? Anyway, so of course people tend to trust strength. They want strength, like we want strong leaders like Donald Trump being held by Elon Musk. We want people like Marco Rubio. We want people like Sash Patel, not to name probably one of the very best Pam Bondi as General Attorney of the United States. Tulsi Gabbard at the head of all intelligence services. Those people are magnificent. They're so courageous, and they're going to give you back your world. Let's face it. But again, two solutions. You can be part of the problem or part of the solution. Two options, excuse me. And today, you can hope that a few heroes are going to give you your life back. But this is not going to be the case. It will have to come from the people. I get lots of questions about the WEF, how to extract ourselves from this vicious circle, from this terrible, vicious loop in which they've embedded us. Man, it will have to come from you. Uh, the people that are creating the WEF are all not only they come from all horizons, from all nations, countries, from all sector of human activities, but you know, Donald Trump has cut, of course, the funding that Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and the previous president were, giving them. And that is a good thing. But if you compare the funding of the US states to the WEF, which now has been cut, you understand that, uh, compared to what they receive from elsewhere for defending the institutionalized waste, fraud, abuse, but mostly theft of the taxpayers' money on a worldwide basis, uh, Donald Trump is like Mickey Mouse. He weighs nothing into the whole thing, or very little. The inertia, exactly like what you see in Europe, all the governments are pro the WEF, pro Switzerland, the most obscene cash machine ever created by mankind. And I weigh my words very carefully, very carefully. All the Europeans, they think that they're going to be able to carry on doing business as usual, to waste and steal the taxpayers, to abuse the citizens, to deprive people from their citizens' identity. And this is not on. I'm fighting against it. So the best way to do and to act against it, I'm not going to be able to describe it to you in the video just as now, but man, the best way is to get back your freedom through an awakening of the people themselves. And you will find the reason for this awakening, again, sorry to mention it, but in my book titled 2024. You find it on Amazon for $24 if you like the paper format. And I think you should buy the paper format, because if you want anything to have a strong hold on your mind, you need to read. You need to read a piece of book, a piece of paper with a pen in your hand and mark, cross, underline the important section that relate to your situation and so forth. Alternative, you just go on my website, www.4ovet24.com, and everything is for free. I'm not trying to sell you anything. No, I want to draw your attention for you to be aware of what can truly be done. I cannot disclose it here, but you have my roadmap to action. Because again, you can be part of the solution, you can be part of the problem. To be part of the solution is just a matter, it's not just a matter of sharing the ideas and talking about it. No, it is about action. You are the sum of your actions, not the sum of your nice words or nice thoughts. No, doesn't work that way. Only action will count. And you'll see in my roadmap and where I describe also social non-cooperation, because the only power of a strong man is non-violence. And I hope you understand that. Violence will not lead us anywhere. I have comments which are saying non-violence won't be able to. Yes, non-violence by walking towards the capital of the nations in order to put them under pressure and do a sitting. You get to the buildings that the state uses to maintain you in slavery, and you do a sitting. No, no posters, no slogans, nothing. You just walk, please, and remembering that walking is the strongest of weapons that human beings have at their disposal. We left the African rift because we're all Africans. We left the African rift, probably you have two waves of migrations. One which is what, I would say almost 400,000 years ago, and another one like more 70, 80,000 years ago. A helicopter is going by, so sorry about that. And we're gonna walk together. No violence, no blood being shed. No, no. We'll walk silently with no screams, no violence, no incitation to any violence, and we'll get there. And if we are stopped in our benevolent walk, we will show the world on all the social medias. We all have telephones and will record the state choice to harm our physical integrity. And that is for the state to choose. But if they go that route, they won't survive a week. So we'll walk together. This is what I'm describing in my book. And it's only 12 pages. The roadmap is only 12 pages. In the previous pages, I explain why we should be going there. Why do you live in an empire of lies? What is the model that the politics are using to maintain you under control, to steal the value of your hard labor? How do they do that? How did you accept it? Man, the WEF is the shame of Switzerland. And to counter the WEF, we'll need more than a few heroes. We'll need more than a Donald Trump and an Elon Musk and their teams. We'll need the people to wake up and to strike into action. And action doesn't mean violence, it is walking together and converge to the capital of the nations. That is how we're going to kill the WEF. We're going to kill the shame of Switzerland so it can be reborn in the interest of the people to recreate democracies. Remember, demos, kratos, the people decide. That is at the very heart of what we need to do. We need to give back their strength to our democracies or governance system, name them the way you want. They are not democracies anymore. That is for sure. And we're going to give our governance solutions their strength through the rewriting of constitution. We're going to use the current constitutions as foundations. We're going to make them so simple and understandable that a 7-year-old will be able to understand it and understand the values behind the constitutions that binds us together, that represents our will to live together, exchange knowledge, goods, and services. That's going to be the way. And it is the only way you're going to put the governance system back in the service of the people, for the people, and you will have all the gatekeepers that will stop the abuse of the governments we've seen over the last, I'd call it 4 decades, actually. 4 decades. This has to come to a stop. And it's in your hands. It is in your hands. No one else but you will do it. So please read my book. Give yourself a mind geometry so that you have all the foundations to defend what is right for you, what is right for your family, your kids, your parents, what is right for your community, what will give everyone the world they deserve back at their disposal. That's the only way, my friend. That's the only way. May I thank you for your benevolent and kind attention. May peace be with you and with all human beings on the planet. Peace out.